Hey everyone, Wolf Lord Rho here. Today we're discussing the departure of the Raven Guard Primarch Corax, as we discuss if there could just be a twist to his tale. General spoiler warning to begin, as the events we're discussing today are from across the Warhammer 40k universe, so you have been warned, and with that said, let's just jump straight in. The Raven Guard. Definitely one of my soft spot legions and chapters. I will always feel that Corax is an extremely underrated Primarch. And I absolutely can't wait for the day we get another sighting of him in his hunt for his traitor brothers within the Warp. Now, over the weekend I was having a little reread of the first founding background book, the one that came out a little while ago. And even though I've read it before, there was something that kind of piqued my interest a little bit. Something on the disappearance of Corax. That just got me thinking. Now, the story and legend of Corax's disappearance and departure is well known, and the story retold here is that very same one. Consumed in his grief and guilt at his failed attempts to rebuild the Legion, at the end of the heresy, Corax would lock himself away within the Raven Spire, his personal chambers within its tallest peak, the Eyrie, and from there emerge a year to the day later, and leave his now chapter forever, uttering only a single word: nevermore. It reiterates the commonly held belief amongst the chapter that the Primarch departed for the Eye of Terror to spend his remaining days seeking redemption by hunting his traitor brothers, the true culprits responsible for everything that befell the galaxy. And as we know, that's basically right. That is what happened from what we have seen, at least. Having been treated to a scene of Corax within the Eye of Terror, hunting traitor word-bearers, and more importantly, Lorgar. And this took place in the short story Shadows of the Past by Gav Thorpe. However, it's after this brief explanation within the first founding background book where things begin to get a little more intriguing. Or a lot more, in fact, as it relates other tales and beliefs on just what may have happened and transpired with the Raven Guard Primarch. And the first one is actually an official record within the chapter's librarius, or at least a record of a tale, that Corax never left his homeworld of Deliverance at all. That rather than leaving and heading into the Eye of Terror, he placed himself into stasis, waiting for a time he can be granted the Emperor's forgiveness for failing to stop the traitors upon Istvan. Now, this is incredibly interesting. I don't know how I didn't pick up on this one before. Just one of those things you read that doesn't quite sink in the first time, I guess. Rumours and speculation on Primarch disappearances are nothing new within the lore. It's human nature to be curious, to want to know more. Even Guilliman had theories he could have been healing within his stasis, a physical impossibility. Yet the stories persisted. Millions came to his shrine every day because they wanted to witness it for themselves. Yet this here with Corax is different, because it's not a bit of hope or curiosity. It's a record within the chapter's librarius, meaning it's an official record of the chapter, and a secret one, no less. And look, out of the lore, it's most likely just one of those cool little lines that provoke your imagination. The same as growing up with the idea that maybe, just maybe, Guilliman was healing within his stasis. I absolutely loved that one as a kid reading the 2nd edition Ultramarines Codex. However, in lore, this story being a chapter record, meaning that at some point a librarian of the chapter recorded this. I mean, come on, how can that not get your mind going and pique your interest? The get out clause, the element of doubt, is that yes, it's mentioned as a secret tale kept on record. A tale. But again for me, the fact that a librarian felt the need to record it within the librarius's official archives must surely mean something. These are Astartes we're talking about here, and the Raven Guard to boot, who, as we've already stated, by and large all believe that Corax is within the Eye of Terror. So why would a librarian feel the need to record this flying in the face of that? That Corax is instead within stasis, upon deliverance, within the Ravenspire. And why would this be kept as a secret? The killer counter to this, of course, is we have already seen Corax within the Eye, as I said earlier, having embraced his inner warp nature, appearing as almost a loyal version of the traitor Primarchs, with powers such as being able to truly disperse into shadow and becoming a flock of ravens. However, is it just possible that this was some form of a psychic version of Corax instead? That the Corax we saw within the Eye was either some kind of representation of Corax psychically, or even a manifestation of his guilt, his overwhelming lust and desire for vengeance. That maybe Corax is indeed still locked away within the Ravenspire. As unlikely as it is, can we really say it's impossible? As we've discussed before, the Ravenspire is full of mystery. Firstly, the Eyrie, Corax's personal quarters, are entirely shut off from the rest of the chapter, and have been since the Primarch left. It's stated to be filled with the feeling of being haunted, with the maddened writing and scribbles of the Primarch left all over, on paper and all over the walls. Chapter masters over the years have entered alone, and are said to emerge changed, having received some form of enlightenment, and none have ever disclosed just what that was. Could it just be possible they found their Primarch? Could it just be possible that that is the enlightenment they found, and why no chapter master has ever discussed it? Could even those rumours and legend of the presence of the Primarch still haunting be in fact that psychic presence? Again, it's incredibly unlikely, and would probably require some minor retconning of just who has actually been in behind those locked doors. But what a twist in the tale of Corax's disappearance that would be. And I would absolutely love the idea of the Primarch in truth being locked away within those dark and ominous walls. That over the centuries Raven Guard chapter masters have been finding it themselves, and each in turn has refused to speak of it. Just imagine it, chapter masters finding Corax in stasis, reading the final scrawls of his maddened and grief-filled thoughts, and his intention to remain in stasis until the Emperor decrees otherwise. Oh, what a scene that would be in a novel. And all the while there's some form of psychic manifestation of him within the warp, kicking Lorgar's behind. There's also the legend of the Ravenspire's forbidden apothecarian, locked away behind sealed doors. The fabled site of Corax's failed experimentations. that once every year the first company has to guard its doors, and monstrous howls are heard within. Maybe Corax could indeed be locked within stasis within there. Another reason why it is forbidden to all, even the chapter masters. And yet there is one more rumour that could just add weight to there being more behind the story of Corax's fate. As after the revelation of the Librarius's secret record, the first founding background book gives a final line of how one bizarre story says the Primarch has become a being of pure shadow, eerily similar to what we know Corax has become, or at least has the power to do now, able to shift between shadow and his normal form. Just where did this story come from? And is it truly a simple coincidence? It's so very near the truth. One thing's for sure, as we enter into the Scouring series now, I am hugely excited to see just what's actually going to transpire with the Raven Lord's disappearance. And really, I can't help but wonder now if there could just be a twist in the tale of the story we have come to expect. But as always everyone, what do you think? Why do you think there is this mysterious secret record within the Raven Guard's Librarius? Was this a librarian simply recording a tale, or is there more to the story? And if it is just a simple tale, then why is it kept secret? Do you think we could see a twist in the tale to come within the Scouring series? Or do you think it's all going to transpire as we've always known? As always everyone, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Huge thank you to all my subscribers, your support truly means a lot to me, it really does. If you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too. But with that said, I am off, and I'll see you all again real soon.